Hey everyone, I'm Olivier, also known as The Mystical on YouTube, where we record videos about virtual reality news and latest virtual reality reviews. I'm here today to talk about gaming as accidental fitness. We've got some fantastic panelists with us. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, lovely people. My name is Vaidas. I'm from Chark Studio. I direct and produce our game that is featured today in the panel called Exer.
Hi, I'm Ugnius. I'm from Chark Studio as well. I'm responsible for publishing and marketing for the game Exer Gale.
Hi everyone, my name is Veronica Rodriguez, or IABR, whatever you want. I work as a marketing and communications at Others Lab, and happy to be here.
My name is Jesus Fabre. I work with Path of Fury. I did the publishing of the game, and I'm here to explain you a little bit about the game and the connection with the VR fitness world.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. I understand you guys now have some slides that you're going to showcase to us, so if you want to go ahead with that.
Thank you first, Balt, for making this great panel. To be honest, Others Lab was in the first VR summit that was ever made, and because we have been a long way in the VR industry. It was founded in 2019. Then we launched O-Shape, which is a game that I'm going to talk about. And more or less every year we had a game launch. Most of them related with physical movement or mental movement, as a chess club or Make It Stable. And let's just talk about specifically the game that I'm representing now, which is O-Shape. So mainly for those that are not familiar with O-Shape, O-Shape is a XR game because we have also mixed reality, which kind of like goes specifically on the rhythm genre, and it offers a unique way of moving your whole body through walls that come to your way. And the idea is to make fun poses with catchy music that keep you moving. It had a lot of levels and difficulty stages, and it's been it started in the Steam platform. Then we moved to Meta, and lately the last platform that we have launched was PlayStation VR, and it's also on Pico. And what else can I tell you about the game? I feel like the funniest thing that I can tell you is how it started. Because the main origin or the main reference for the game was a Japanese TV reality show called Hole in the Wall. That was the main reference, and I think that it explains everything with these two slides. Because one thing that was crystal clear for the team when designing O-Shape at the beginning was movement. Back in the early days of VR, the moment that the standalone category kind of like ignited, that was the moment that Others Lab was pretty sure that they had to do a game that was related to movement, and that's how O-Shape came in. As you can see, the logo is different now. The headsets displayed through different trailers that we have over these 5 years have been changing. It was our first game, and it's a game that we have been taking care of through all these years, making updates, adding custom, the ability for players to custom the maps, and through all this time, it has the main thing stays the same, which is the fun of movement, but we made some things to make it look better, especially. The thing about specifically fitness with O-Shape, that it was accidental, but the moment that we release it to the world, we start seeing that people would take it as a fitness kind of not game, but like accidental fitness, let's say. So this is one of the reviews that we got from the gamer, and I feel like it explains a lot how challenging but how fun this game can be at the same time. The last update, or one of the last updates we did for O-Shape was adding mixed reality with the Quest 3 launch. And playing O-Shape with mixed reality is a game changer. No more broken walls or TVs. So that's something I can recommend, playing O-Shape in mixed reality. I mean, VR, it's of course always my favorite, but mixed reality can be helpful for, getting aware of the space around you. So yeah, as you can see in here, O-Shape had been through a lot. Pretty quickly we realized that it was somehow a fitness activity, and there's nothing like to look at the videos that the content creators made to realize that. We also won an award in the Upload VR Awards in the 2020 for Best VR for Fitness. And through all these years, we have kept the game active. The last update that we made, I think, is, last year, which was the moment that I joined Others Lab. We released the new fitness album called Power Up, which was because through all these years, we heard that a lot of players were actually playing O-Shape to do workout and get fit. So we decided to make this new album specifically with levels, songs, and sessions that make your legs and your arms hurt a lot. And we got a great reception for this fitness album. And yeah, just showing some things here from the community about the O-Shape. It's a game. It's quite difficult to stay relevant when you are a game that's 5 years old, which is kind of like veteran in the beer industry, we can say. But we have, as it was the first game from Others, we really wanted to make the community aware that we were still working on it, and the reception has been quite good. Specifically regarding fitness, people was like, this is difficult, and that's exactly what we wanted to hear with this specific album update that we did. And that's it. Like, the last thing that I can tell you is that last year was our 5th year's anniversary, and that O-Shape is one of the most iconic beer games that you can play if you get how to move through the shapes. And thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. So let's move on to the next slides.
So Exer, Gale, get your wings ready. Let's talk about our game. So Exer, Gale is a arcade game for those who wish to fly and get away, and we give players freedom to glide, dive, and race using just their body and controller movement without 0 buttons. So this is probably the reason we are here and talking together with other panelists, because we consciously chose to avoid buttons and just base the game fully on the physical motion, that the modality that VR provides differently from, video games and consoles, etc. So here's some GIFs or GIFs, if you prefer, from the game. You can see the art direction, the movement, your hands are wings, and you have to flap them to move around. The game itself, the gameplay loop is quite simple. You unlock different maps, you fly around there with a time limit and try to collect as many glints as you can to progress in the game. And of course, there's a multiplayer version where you can play with other people and compete. Well, I just talked about it. Here's the gameplay loop. You race around beautiful environments in different islands and different times of day. And you can, speed run the levels or play with your friends. Here's some screenshots from the game, showcasing our art direction and a little backstory. So the prototype, which was born around probably 4 years, was based around a VR fitness idea. However, throughout these 4 years, we've been moving away and away from this concept. And I think I'm not going to show all the cards right now, but I think we can talk a little bit when we discuss why we are gradually moving away from pure fitness game to more just a game where you have to move your body. Well, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So, whoever's next now can jump onto the next slide.
So I go back to Path of Fury. 1 second. So Path of Fury is basically a VR thriller where you play like if you were in a movie, like Chinese 80s movie. You basically go also with a gameplay that is similar to the Sega arcade machines like House of the Dead or Time Crisis from the 90s. And it's a game that initially can be hard, but then as you master it, you become more confident, and you really get all the tricks and all the strategies that you need to believe that you are owning the place, owning the mechanics, and able to be faster and more efficient. The motivation to create this game comes from Leonard Menchiari, who is the director of the game, who has been all his life, he has been practicing some sort of martial art. He's been interested in it, particularly karate. And in the pandemic, he started practicing Wing Chun, that's a type of Kung Fu. And basically, he discovered that this martial art was something very interesting and very deep, and mixed up the idea of what if I make a game about this martial art in VR with influences from these movies from the 80s, like The Raid, like Move for Love or Protector, or Old Boy, for example, and like more gritty, more dark, and then I make the player jump into this frantic experience where you need to improve yourself, and without noticing, you are becoming in a better shape. So the influencers are these movies, and this First of the North Star arcade cabinet from the 90s, Time Crisis, and Beat Saber also has its part of influence. So as Leonard said, this project is about control movement and flow and physical engagement that you get when you are looking into a pattern or a form. So nowadays, for this presentation, I went to our community and found out which kind of player our community is made of. And most of the people in the community also practice other sports or other physical activities and martial arts like these ones, and they use our game as a complement. So yeah, we made some influencers videos. We don't have time for all of them, but along these videos you can find them in our channel. Basically, you see the different situations they come from. They get like anger, like achievement, like overcoming, or really tired. So it's something interesting to see how diverse. It's like a big mixture of feelings. One of the quotes that I found more interesting is this one that basically says the game is very addicting. You don't notice that you are really doing a lot of exercise, making a lot of effort, and at the end of the game, you are so into the story, so into the world of the game that you don't notice that you did a lot of cardio, a lot of workout, very much from the first second. So yeah, I got some of the most relevant sentences or opinions from our community, and summarizing them, I could say that most of them, they use VR fitness as a complement to the physical fitness activities, and they don't like, not all of them enjoy as much the physical gym, regular gym. They go for VR fitness for like a way to escape or to get more engaged with this, but not as a specific, fixed, scheduled, and formal physical training. Is basically they know what they need to do. This they know they need to do cardio. They need to do exercising with this part of the body, but it's not like they are measuring a lot how many calories they are spending or all that. But they know that they had their dose of that type of body exercise. That's what they are looking for. I want some game that exercise my resistance or my cardio or my strength. So they go for a game for a very intense cardio mostly. And in parallel, also they look for kind of a mental health care. They feel better mentally. They feel like as when you do exercise in real life, you feel like more relief or more less stressed. One of the things that they enjoy the most is that this is not like a repetition, formal, do that many push-ups, do that many all of the heavy lifting or anything you have to do in the formal gym. So they go in a more casual and also creating a strategy and improvising and creating new strategies to defeat the different enemies. We have also some more formal martial artist players who basically use the game as a training tool for martial arts, because the game is inspired in these Wing Chun movements and Wing Chun type of fight. So they go to our game to train with a dummy, or they go to our game to train with a real opponent instead of like the empty space that you may train when you are alone in real world and you don't have a partner to train against. So basically they really enjoy this mixture of being in a movie, being in a very intense Wing Chun martial arts inspired world. Regarding the future of VR fitness, one of the most interesting parts is that the mental health improvement. Also, they are expecting that this world comes to a more realistic kind of experience where you are connected to the real world accessories, and that reflects on the VR world too. And some of our players, as our game is not the typical like easy game. Some of our players want the VR games to become more challenging and not so hand-holding.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for that. Now we're going to move on to a few questions. So if we could answer those maybe in the same order that we did the slides, that would be fantastic. Okay. Have you ever had a player message you like, wait, why am I sore after playing your game? And what's your favorite story like that?
If we follow the order from the slides, then I guess it's me answering.
Perfect, thank you.
To be honest, I was not on others' lab team when the game launched. So I may not have, I cannot think right now of this idea of someone telling this, but I can tell you a funny internal story that kind of made the team sweat a little bit, which is that some like little people know this, but O-Shape was not the first name for this game. The game was first named as On-Shape, but shortly before the launch, the team realized that the On-Shape brand was registered and they couldn't use it. So they had to change it to O-Shape. And they even had some merch and the web registered and everything, and they had to set all that apart. So the good thing is that back in that time, the team was still small. It was maybe 5 people or something like that. So now they have that On-Shape T-shirt, like treasures of that specific moment where they had to sweat a lot in like a few weeks or days because the game and everything had the On-Shape logo and everything, and they had to change it real quick. So yeah, that's the story I'm gonna share.
Awesome. So some Limited edition merch.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So-
As for Exer Gale, we haven't released the game, so the game comes out on the June 9th. So we just have early testing with playtesters. So if we go to conferences and show the game to the players and they play for, let's say, 10 minutes and say, oh, it's pretty hard on my hands, or how this part of the body is called. I was like, for us, this is not a good signal, actually. And that's what changed our game direction, because we don't want our players to get tired. We want them to play more and play longer sessions. And because the game consists of pretty monotonous movement of flapping around, right? We gradually move away from that and we introduce more gliding, more casual, just moving, controls around, because we don't want to get people tired. We don't consider it a fitness game. However, we treat it as an accidental fitness game because we remove all the buttons. If you want to turn around, you will have to turn around. If you want to fly faster, you will have to work a little bit with your hands. But if you just want to fly around, yeah, you can call it just a casual, just moving little with your body to reach the destination. So, in short, we've got some messages from the playtesters, and we acted upon it, so we would get less and less.
Yeah, actually, it used to be quite a lot in the beginning of developing our game, especially the first few iterations. And yeah, it used to be like 2 minutes of playtime, and that's it. You have to get rest. So yeah, it was interesting time.
In our case, our game has a structure like a roguelike, so it's meant to make you feel tired very fast the first time you play, and that is on purpose because we want the player to get better. Normally, the normal player, you always have people more fit, but we want that somebody that likes this kind of movie, because in the end the game is not being sold as a labeled exercise type of game. I think O-Shape is more like you feel like sports, you're gonna do more sports, but in our cases you see the cover and you feel like, oh, this is going to tell me a story about somebody that is in a Chinese type of kung fu movie, right? So the idea is that you really leave the movie by getting tired, but and you come back you rest in 20 minutes or 10 minutes, you take some water, and then you get back, and next day you get back. So the idea is like persistence and repetition and creating new strategies, looking for ways to become more efficient with your fist and with your arms and with your moves. That is part of what makes the game special, and that's one of the things that I believe it's creating this feeling of satisfaction once you get through the same area in 30 seconds less or 1 minute less.
I tried the game, Jesus, as you give me the key, and I was the first one surprised that it was harder than I thought, because I usually do body combat just like to train or do some exercise. And I was like, okay, this is about boxing. I can do that. Like I've been training for a year in less middle body combat. And gosh, it was difficult, but I did not take the risk. I was like, damn it, I'm going to try it again. And I got even worse. It got even worse. I was like, nope, I'm going to stop it here. And
it's hardcore.
And train a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's a hardcore game. Like our players tell us, I love this game because it's not hand-holding. It's a game that forced me to learn and to try again and again and not to surrender.
Perfect. Thank you so much for those answers. And now our next question has already been sort of touched on. However, have you ever had to dial back the intensity of your game after you realized that the mechanics were just a little bit too hard or people were getting tired too fast?
Well, in case of O-Shape, I feel like this happens to all games, that they adjust at the beginning. The people making the games are usually the developers that are in a specific shape, and something that I know that they did with O shape was testing it with a lot of different users to make sure that we had levels for everyone. And it's tricky because like it's not, you have to kind of like catch it somehow. The first time you try it is like, I'm terrible at this. But then if you start going a little bit harder, then you realize, oh, I get it. It's like a bit Saver or Body Combat. There are a lot of other games that the first time you feel like you are not getting it, and then something clicks and you start being able to play it properly. So with O Shape, I feel like as it is a 5 years old game, for sure, but specifically I know with Les Mills XR Dance that people were actually demanding a beginner-friendly sessions or for dancing sessions, and we added those last year. It was only had been a year from the launch, and we realized that people wanted a little bit more of a beginner-friendly sessions.
Well, we touched about the physicality of our game before, but I have a short story. So we've been gradually moving away from hard physical work, and last year in one of the boot camps we participated, there was a very experienced game designer who has been working with kinetic games for 10 years, started with Kinect on Xbox, etc. So he had lots of experience, and he really loved our game, and he advised us on many issues. And the idea behind it, and it stuck to me, is that the player is not the engine, right? So that's what we are trying to make it right now. So there's a engine somewhere in the, like, you have to like flap a few times and then you can fly a lot, but you don't have to flap all around. You know, you don't have to roll the engine all the time to move forward. So if you want to move a little bit faster, then you become the engine. But just to enjoy the game, it's a little bit easier, because we're trying to to balance the game both for like casual users who would just want to fly around, and also for hardcore players who will gonna grind the maps, gonna try to reach the highest score, and gonna be moving around fast and flapping hard and moving their whole body to navigate the obstacles and the environment. So yeah, Ugnius, anything to add?
Yeah, so I think so you covered most of it. Yeah, as we target more audiences, not just those hardcore, we made the mechanics for both audiences, so for casual gamers and for hardcore gamers, so everybody can find place in playing Exer Gale game. And that's very nice in it, because you can get sweaty, but also can enjoy the game.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. And now for our final question. If someone said, I'm not into fitness games, but loved your title, what do you think hooked them?
That's an interesting question. And for O-Shape, I think that people just had a lot of fun playing it. I know it can be frustrating the first time. It happened to me. But as I said before, the moment that it clicks and you start knowing how to do it, it's so enjoyable. You start moving and feeding the music and the rhythm within a specific pose, and then you have the coins, and then you can also hit the walls. So I think that it is more fun and enjoyable than it is demanding or exhausting. And in the end, it's quite simple. Like, the mechanic seems to be quite simple, just dodging and putting yourself in the specific shape that the walls demands. But there is a lot of variety in the type of shapes and choreographies that people can make, because this is something that we also added, the possibility of customizing some maps and adding custom songs, and I think the type of things people made are amazing. Like I've seen Gangnam Style, and I've seen a lot of like other funny songs and the type of videos and maps people made with that, and those are amazing.
Well, for our game, I think what we were aiming for is like the core fantasy is flying, and in addition, being a bird, right? So this is what the game stands upon, and flapping around, it's very intuitive for some reason, and you know, there are games I am cat, and in our game you're a bird. And it's kind of easy to teach people about the game mechanics, because when we showcase it live, the first question I ask for a person is, how does a bird do? You know, and I just wait for them to do the movement, and that's it. You know, this is the first entry into the game. How does a bird do? And it's physical, it's understandable. You have to, you know, get around it and to understand how to move the controllers correctly. But yeah, the basic movement of how does a bird do is enough, and I think it's pretty appealing for the, you know, it's a first point of contact for people. It's like, oh, you know, it's this. Okay, I understand how to do that, and it's enough for them to get hooked.
I remember the first time that I flied in VR. I think it was in VR chat, but the feeling was amazing. And I think that flying in VR is one of the most realistic, not realistic, sorry, like lucid dreaming, kind of like, I don't think it's called that way, lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Daydreaming,
I think that's
something
it.
like that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, flying is
To be
something
honest,
that makes sense
To be honest,
in VR.
the game came from a dream of our tech lead. He had a dream about flying. They made the
Wanted to
mechanics,
make it
and
like
that's it.
feel
They
the
made the
same.
mechanics. Yes, and this is the origin of the game. It was a dream, and the dream we all had is the dream of flying. And this is the
That's
origin of the
amazing.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how like different origins, like a Japanese TV show, then the
dream.
films of the 80s regarding
Yes.
Kung Fu and those things, and a dream happened
Yep.
to become VR games.
Yes. Amazing.
So in our case, people don't come to our game because they want to do fitness. They come to our game because they want to live a story. They want to feel the badass, you know, of the movie, and as a consequence, they feel like they are getting more fit and more powerful and more engaged with physical activities. So they end up going to do some martial arts in real life because they play their game, or they do martial arts and they complement with their game when they cannot do it in real life, or when they want to experience some more engaging story related to what they usually do. And that is what I believe that get people hooked. A nice story, and also get a better mark in the hits and the better combinations, and finish the game sooner. All that.
I also would add that not only the story can get hooked in the game. Like in our case, we have shown for many children and teenagers, and most of the people said that they like just the aesthetics, the music, the environment, and
Yeah, the
I
feeling.
remember one girl, saying, "I just want to live here," and she was just having a good time.
I can relate to that girl. The game looks beautiful.
Yeah, totally. Relaxing. That's cool.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for that. That was a very interesting conversation. That's all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Definitely.
much.
Cool.
Thank you
Thank you.
for having us.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.